Good afternoon, coaches. This is Coach Anthony Williams, founder and CEO of Connected Athletics. You probably have heard in other interviews, we are a new startup company based here in Austin, Texas. We are focused on creating a platform to help student athletes connect with other student athletes, for student athletes to connect with college coaches during the recruiting process, and also to help student athletes transition from high school to college and either into the program or into a career in their major. We are excited to have another exciting member of the class of 23. He's from right here in the Austin area. He's repping 512. He's a receiver from Lake Travis High School. Nicholas Byrd. Nicholas, how you doing today?
Thank you. I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good. So let's just jump right into it. You know, we're going through this coronavirus stuff. Tell us what you're doing to stay in shape to be prepared for the upcoming season this fall.
Well, usually our football program has a virtual workout on a Google Hangout 3 times a week. And then usually later in the evening, me, my father, and my brother will go to the field and work on some speed work, catching, footwork to get ready for the upcoming season. And if we're not doing that, we're in the garage lifting.
Okay, so you've got a plan on working on your speed, your strength. What about your route running and your pass catching?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm working on that too. Working on the top end of my route.
Okay. Well, as we transition here, I will tell you, I've got a lot of friends in the Lake Travis area. A lot of people are contacting me about the freshman All-American game. And people were like, dude, coach, you've got to go see Nicholas Byrd. This kid is going to be a big time player. I got a chance to watch a video, very excited. But why don't you walk us through some of your top plays from your freshman year?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Tell her I'm in.
Okay, let me hit play and just walk us through who you're playing and what you're thinking and that kind of stuff. Let's go play right now.
Okay, this is Anderson. This is like the 3rd or 4th play of the game. He ran at his toes. I saw he was backing up, and my speed kills it. And then both do a great ball and just touchdown.
Okay.
Oh, this is Austin High. I actually dropped an easy touchdown before on the first drive on the offense, so I had to redeem myself. And I caught the punt. I just found green grass. And then up coming here, I have to split these two, so I have to here and cut that back outside.
That is great acceleration right there.
Thank you. This is Hutto. This was the first drive too. Really, I just beat him on a slant route right here, and then got behind the safety and just cut in, and then just took off. This is a fade route. It was 1-on-1, so it was no matchup really. And both do a great ball. What is this? Oh, this is the New Hayes Johnson School. I knew I was going to score this one. It was easy, green grass, and it was great blocking by my teammates.
Also a great cutback at the 20-yard line to see that vision. That's good stuff.
There. Oh, this is Hayes. This touchdown actually got called back for a holding, but I don't get tackled easily, so I broke the tackle and reversed the field, saw green grass, and went for it. This is the scrimmage against Cedar Ridge. Let's see if this is. You see how the way he's standing, I know it's going to beat him if I just hit the post right there, and both do a great ball. It's the same Cedar Ridge scrimmage, same play. Just beat him to the inside for the post, touchdown.
Perfect. Let me close it out here. So a couple things that I see here, Nicholas, I want to ask you about. One thing, you're a smaller guy now, but you have no fear in breaking tackles and running over the middle. Talk to us about that part of your game.
Since smaller guys, you got to be hard to tackle. You got to do everything better than a 6'3" guy. You got to bring the speed.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I looked everywhere and I can't find a height or weight on you anywhere. What is your official height and weight going into your sophomore year?
Oh, well, on the rankings, they rated me, I was 5'6", 132.
Okay. And what are you? Are you a little bit bigger now with your workouts?
I'm getting stronger and bigger than I was my freshman year.
Okay. And let me ask you this: in 3 years, when you graduate from Lake Travis, what do you think your height and weight will be as you head into college?
I say about 5'9", 5'10", 160 or 155.
Okay. Tell us, do you prefer playing the outside receiver or the inside slot, or do you care?
I don't care. I have to be a versatile player, so I have to make plays either way.
Okay. Switching gears here, tell me about your academics. What's your GPA right now, and what are some of your favorite subjects right now at Lake Travis?
Well, I had a great freshman year. I ended off with all A's and 1B, 3.7 GPA. And my favorite subject, I'll probably say math. I like the math. I've been loving math since I was a kid.
Okay. And then as we transition, I know it's early, you only go into your sophomore year, but as you transition to college, what do you think you're going to major in?
Business and marketing. Ever since I was a little kid, I always drew in my notebook, Knicks, sports. I always wanted my own football
I like
business.
it. Okay. And so you want to own your own business one day and run it? Okay. I like it. Tell me about, take this time to shout out one of the teachers at Lake Travis that has helped you put focus on your academics, or a counselor or an advisor or whatever.
I would have to say my principal, Mr. Butler. He's always making sure I'm doing this in the classroom so I can do this on the football field. And he's always motivating me and making sure I'm getting everything done on time.
Nick, describe to these coaches obviously Lake Travis is a nationally known high school football program. What's it like to play there and to compete at a high level on the field and in the classroom?
It's an honor. Big time program, 6 state championships, first team to ever do 5 in a row, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big time deal. It's a great powerhouse, great coaching staff, great brotherhood.
Okay.
That's really
Let's
it.
let's talk about you as a player again. So give me some of your strengths and weaknesses that you're working on as you go into your sophomore year.
My strengths, I always have my speed. I take that as an advantage because I need that. My playmaking ability, not just getting tackled right away. And I would say what I will have to work on is being consistent, catching the ball every time I get it thrown my way and making sure I have the same yards as I do earlier on a kick return or punt return that I do now.
I've obviously played and coached the game at a high level, meet a lot of guys with speed. Tell me how you define or balance having great speed, but also being a great route runner.
Speed helps a lot in being a great route runner because you can really just burn anybody on your route, but you need to have the footwork and explosion and have quick feet to easily run a great route.
Okay, and I think that's important. The reason I asked you that question is because I meet a lot of receivers with speed, and usually their only thing is like I take the top end off, I run past people. But the game of football, there's only going to be so many plays you're going to throw the ball deep. You've got to run good, crisp, intermediate routes underneath bubble screens. With your explosiveness, it's very important. Tell me about that part of your game when you're not taking the top end off. Your focus on being a threat in the underneath game.
What's that again?
Tell me about your focus on being taking advantage of running routes underneath and not going vertical all the time.
Well, every time I catch like an underneath ball, like a bubble or a slant or something like that, I always try to catch it and make a move quickly with quick feet so I can get past one guy and then go past another guy easily.
Okay. What about you in the run game? Are they running some jet sweeps with you at all, or is that something they're going to look to put in this year?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Jet
All right.
sweeps.
Tell me about what do you think specifically sets you apart from other receivers in the class of 23?
Well, what sets me apart to me is I'm going to do it 3 times harder than the man in front of me, and I'm going to do it better than he does.
Okay. And then as far as physicality, we talked about you not being a big guy right now, but talk to me about your mentality of ball security and making those big plays and not going down easily because you're a smaller guy.
Oh, yes, sir. I have to have that because, every guy wants their 6'3", 6'4", 205 or something like that. So I have to challenge my showcase and do it in a big time so people will look at me.
Gotcha. And then I see there's some clips of you in special teams, which is very important. Tell me about your mentality returning punts and kickoffs for Lake Travis.
Every time I get the kickoff or punt return, I always try to go score.
Okay. Tell me, I know it's very early, but we do have class 23 players getting offered right now. Are you getting some recruiting attention? Who are you hearing from? Who do you want to hear from? And tell me about your recruiting experience so far.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm getting like offered, but I have some D1 schools following me who have liked my highlights. And my LSU is my dream school. I will always love to hear from them. But I'm blessed and grateful for whatever school gives me a free offer. So if it had to be JUCO, SWAC, D2, I'm grateful for whatever.
I like hearing that you're open. A lot of kids are kind of like, D1 or bust. And at the end of the day, football should be an enabler for an education. And wherever that comes from, you got to go to it. But let me ask you, you being from Austin and living in this great area that we live in, is distance from home an issue, or do you care where you go to school?
Um, I mean, it will be probably a little big factor because I will miss my family. But I'm just looking for a place to call home.
Okay. And I know you're still very young, but do you have an idea of what you're looking for in a college program? Is it going to be based on scheme, culture, family environment, distance from home? What is it you look for when you make your final commitment?
I'm looking for a place to commit to me like I can commit to them. And, I've seen my parents, they've been to HBCU school, Grambling State, and they were in a sorority and fraternity. And that bond that they have as a family together, it's like a place they call home. It's like their real second family. And they always keep in touch with each other almost every day. So I would love that.
Okay. College coaches will always want to know what your relationship is like with your coaches. Tell me about your relationship with your position coach and your head coach, Coach Carter.
Lake Travis, we have the best coaching staff in the state of Texas from high school to middle school. They always making sure I'm taking care of business inside and out of class. And they always check on my family, and that's the big factor too.
Tell me what it's like to follow up. I also got to know a lot of players in that area, but most recently Garrett Wilson helped get him to the All-American game, and he obviously killed it at Ohio State. What's it like to have somebody like that in front of you who's kind of already done that and being like a mentor for you, or an example of what it could be like for you?
It's a motivation. I like to be the next. People always call me the next Garrett Wilson, but I want to be better.
Okay.
And I actually got to meet him. And then I talked to him. He's a real cool guy.
Yeah, I know Garrett personally. I would tell you that he would not want you to be the next Garrett Wilson. He would want you to be the best Nicholas Byrd you can be and be better than him. So it's good to hear you say that.
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about, who's going to be involved in helping you make the decision when you do finally commit to college.
Definitely my old man, my father, because he's been knowing what's best for me all my life since I started playing the game, and he's been through the process as well.
Okay. Let's fast forward. You have a great 3 or 4 years in college, and you're now in New York City on NFL draft night. Who's at your table waiting for your name to be called by the commissioner?
Say my dad, my mom, my brother. And I'm sorry, Coach Carter, I'm going to have to go with my middle school coach, Coach Goodeye.
Okay. All right. I like that. Let's talk about you kind of away from football. What are some things that you like doing when you're not working out or playing the game? What are some of your interests? You like to hunt, fish, hang out at the lake? What do you like to do in your spare time?
I say I'm like a regular teenager, go to the mall, the movies, stuff like that.
Okay. Are you a big video game guy? You a Madden guy or 2K guy?
Madden and Fortnite, really Madden Takeover.
All right. And then what are some of your favorite apps you use on the phone with this COVID-19 environment? What do you use on your phone to kill some time? Are you a TikTok guy, Twitter, Instagram?
I'm on a TikTok daily basis.
Okay.
That's a great thing. I like Twitter to see the highlight tapes and the rankings and stuff like that. But I'm also on Netflix and Snapchat, but definitely TikTok. TikTok kills all the time.
Tell us the last good movie you saw on Netflix that you really liked, or series.
The last movie, I would say All Day and the Night.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. So.
And then as far as music, who are some of the artists you listen to get you hyped before a game? Who are you listening to right now?
Definitely Lil Baby.
Okay.
Lil Baby is the best rapper out right now. Lil Baby, Young Boy. And, I'll probably listen to some HBCU bands here and there to get me crunk too.
Okay. I like it. Tell me about you. What do you do to give back in the Lake Travis community? Are you involved in any community programs? Are you involved in your church? What are you doing to give back to your community?
Well, I was born and raised in a tradition of church. So I'm in the youth program and the choir, the ushers, and the brotherhood and stuff like that.
Are you an alto? You sing bass? What do you sing? You soprano? Like what?
I say I'm in the middle, soprano
Okay.
and alto. I have the voice, so
So me and you got something in common. I'm a PK. Both my grandfathers were pastors in their church, so I'm a preacher's kid too. So I understand about life in
yeah.
church and would never trade anything for that. So that's good to hear. It gives you a
Yes,
foundation.
sir.
Tell me a little bit about the people in your life who had an impact on you besides your parents.
Besides my parents, let's see. I would still say my principal, Mr. Butler,
Okay.
because every Friday night in the games, every time, let's say Kyle Lees make a play or Grayson Stanley made a play, he always said, "That's going to be you next year," and I can't wait.
Well, I got to give you props. I talked to interviewed a lot of players, and they usually mention a math teacher or their counselor or coach. I think you're the first kid to shout out their principal that you had that closer of a relationship with your principal. That's awesome to hear. Um, Tell me about a time, overcoming adversity is big in life and very big at being an athlete. Tell me about a time, either personally or dealing with football, that you had to overcome some type of adversity.
Overcome adversity. I would say moving to Lake Travis, actually, because, it's not like everybody knew me. Because when I came out here, nobody knew me, actually. And then there was 3 football teams, so I had to work harder than everybody, beat everybody in running, lifting, so I can be on the A team and start.
Okay. And you being so, where did you migrate from before you came to Lake Travis? Were you from out of state, or what's the story there?
Oh, no, actually, I was from Austin. I went to Deer Park Middle School, actually.
Okay, gotcha. And then how has that transition been? I mean, obviously, Lake Travis, you win a lot of games, very competitive, but how have you transitioned successfully over in the school and in the community?
I'll transfer good, actually. My mindset is actually on track. I'm never getting negative. I'm staying positive with the brotherhood. Lake Travis is a big program. I was about winning. It's just a good life.
Okay, I like it. Tell me about what receiver do you pattern yourself off of, either at the college or pro level?
I would say Deion Collins, known as
Okay.
Baby D. You probably know him from LBJ.
Yep.
The speed kills, but we both always want to dominate, no matter what size or whatever. Always want to dominate and be the baddest one on the field.
Okay. Is there a pro player that you pattern your game off of also?
I would say Marquise Goodwin or Marquise Brown.
Okay, Marquise Goodwin, my nephew. I hear you. She's getting ready to play for the Eagles this year. Play with my son of Texas. I appreciate that. Um, one of the things about football that coaches want to understand is, when did you start playing the game, and why do you love playing football?
Let's see. I started playing a game when I was 5 in flag, and then when I got the ball, I just started running by people and scoring. That's when I loved it. And then I just love seeing everybody shine. So when my teammates score, I love that. Make a big block, I love that too.
Give me one or two life skills you've learned from playing football that you think will help you be successful in life.
One of them, the main thing is to never give up. Like real life conflict, you just can't give up. You lose a job or something, you can't be like, oh, I'm never gonna get a job again, because you never know how your life's gonna turn out. You got to get back up and keep pushing forward. And then secondly, I would say constructive criticism that I can take and make necessary changes on the field.
Okay. When football's over, I know we don't like to talk about it, but eventually this game will come to an end one day. What do you want it to do to help you? What do you want to do with your life after football?
Football, I want to do my sports business, but then I want to give back and start coaching football and track.
Okay. Let's talk about that. You mentioned track. You're obviously a very good athlete. Tell us what other sports you play over at Lake Travis besides football. Are you a basketball, baseball, track guy, lacrosse, soccer, what?
I was on varsity track this year, and I take pride in that. I was the top runner in district, and when I got on the relay 4x2 and 4x4, we actually qualified for Texas relays and had one of the top times in the region. So while I'm doing that, I'm trying to bring a state championship in track too, as well as football.
Okay. Obviously, Nicholas, you have a relationship with the upperclassmen at Lake Travis. Tell these players and these coaches about the pressure of playing at Lake Travis. Yes, from the outside, winning's good, but talk about that pressure every Friday night to kind of continue the tradition of winning, and how hard it is as a player and as a student.
Oh yeah, it's definitely hard because you don't want to lose at Lake Travis. That's really an embarrassment to me. And, we lost to North Shore. That's pretty hard felt 2 years in a row. We hope to make up and beat them this year.
So that North Shore game, I mean, obviously a lot of good athletes in the field. Who are some of the schools? Obviously, Westlake is a big time cross. In fact, let's talk about that. Westlake, the big crosstown rival. Do you change your preparation for that game than other games? I know there's a lot of intensity and emotion in the communities there. Tell me about how you prepare for that Westlake game each year.
Westlake, no talking. It's straight mentally, no talking. We'll just show it on the field.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Um, Tell me, Nicholas, how as a young student athlete, how do you define leadership and how do you plan on helping your team lead as a sophomore this year?
Well, to me, leadership means standing out and influencing others. You know, the way I'm leadership is I motivate my team every time and hype them up. I want them to succeed as well. So I make sure and hype them up so they can have the confidence to show it on the field.
Okay. Tell these college coaches, will they eventually get you on campus for junior day visits and unofficials? What food do they need to have if they want to get Nicholas Byrd to sign with them? What's your favorite food?
Oh, cheeseburgers and fries.
Cheeseburger and fries. Is there a specific location? Are you a Mighty Fine guy? Are you an In-N-Out? What specific kind?
Let's see. I like In-N-Out, but Whataburger most definitely.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Take this time right now. Tell us, there are a lot of good players in class 23. Who else do you think is being under recruited or that college coaches should look at that either is on your team or somebody you've played against? Who else do you respect in the class 23?
Well, I said 22. My brother Noah Byrd, he came off an injury.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming back. We've been working every day, perfecting our craft. He's going to show y'all a show this season. And then in 2020 class, I respect Jonte Cook II and Dalen Jones from DeSoto. They were on my 7-on-7 team, actually. Jaden Greathouse from Westlake. He's a baller. Braylon James, you actually had an interview with him yesterday. Yeah. And Cedric Alexander from LBJ.
Okay. I like that strong list. A lot of good players in that list. Tell me, who else besides your parents and your coaches have really had a major influence on you? I don't know if it's a trainer or a family friend or who else is like somebody you can go to like, man, that guy gives me, or that person gives me a lot of great advice.
I would say one of my middle school Coach Gomez, because he always wants to see the best of me. Really almost every day he sends me motivational quotes. And even like before game days or practices, he always makes sure I'm doing the best that I can and make sure I'm ready for it.
Okay. Talk to us a little bit about how you prepare for game week. Are you a film guy? Are you a scouting report guy? What do you do during the week to get ready for Friday nights?
Usually I'm just going out working. I watch film here and there almost every day to see what I have to do to beat that guy. But, I'm really working and getting better during the week so I can show on the field.
Okay. Once again, I know you're only going to your sophomore year, but tell these coaches, why do you think your game is going to translate to the college level?
I think my game will transfer to the college level because I'm a versatile player. Wherever you need me, I'm going to make a big play out of it.
Okay. And then what else do you plan on bringing to a program? Tell these coaches away from football as far as being a great ambassador of the program and the university. Talk to us about that. What are you going to bring from things off the field?
I'm going to bring a high energy, great person, and be able to be a great leader for the team.
Okay, I like it. Coaches want to understand how to best coach you. Tell these coaches what type of learning style you like the most. Are you a verbal learner, visual, or physical?
I can really do all three, but really I'm mostly a visual guy. I have to see it in person for me to perfect it.
Okay, good. Tell me about sacrifice. Being successful at the high ends of this game, we have to sacrifice things, partying or being with your girlfriend. Tell us about some of the things you sacrificed in your commitment to being the best student athlete you can be.
Most definitely sacrifice hanging out with my friends because they always want to hang out like every other week, but I can't do that because I have to be the best I can be to make it in life.
Yeah. We have a joke in sports, obviously, you probably heard of it. Every time somebody asks an athlete, hey, man, can you this? No, man, I got practice. Or no, man, I got workouts.
Yep.
Do you I know some guys talk about playing the game, but do you like being a student athlete and having your time crafted and have to manage your time between workouts and homework and spending time with your family?
Oh, yes, because I feel like God gave me the gift to do it, so I should enjoy it.
I hear you on that. Nicholas, we finish up here. Tell these coaches It's kind of a hard question, but you're a coachable guy. Tell these coaches what kind of coachable player you are. Do you like it when somebody screams at you? Do you like it when somebody just pats you in the back and say, "Hey, pick it up"? How do you like to be coached by coaches?
I mean, I'm very coachable. I can be coachable by anything. My father coached me really all my life, so I've been coachable since I started.
Okay, good deal. Let's finish up with this. In business, there's a thing called the elevator pitch. It's 30 seconds where you give a quick resume on yourself to tell people why they should partner with you in business, or in this case, why they should recruit you. In 30 seconds, tell these college coaches who Nicholas Byrd is and what you're going to bring to their program in the class 23.
I would say, so coach, I'm Nicholas Byrd, and I'm going to show you why you're going to pick somebody that you won't regret. I'm versatile. I will be a great leader for your team, and just be everything you need me to be.
Okay, short and simple. I like it. Well, hey, Nicholas, I thought you did a great job in the interview. You're very mature and wise for your young age. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the field this fall. Continue to be safe, keep working hard, and we'll see you on the sidelines this year, okay?
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks for your time. Be blessed, okay?
Yes, sir. You too.
All right, bye-bye.